If it's clear and yellow, you've got juice there, fella. If it's tangy and brown, you're in cider town. Now, there's two exceptions, and it gets kind of tricky here.
You can stay, but I'm leaving.
Candy yellow if they're using late season apples. And of course, in Canada, the whole thing's flip-flop.
What's going on everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel on this Sunday. This is the episode where episode 3 of Rings of Power, and we're going to be reviewing it, breaking it down, talking about all the goods, the bads, and the fucking bore snooze fest that is this episode, because I definitely fell asleep several times on this episode. Yeah, so we're here, and there's other people going to be joining us soon, and but yeah, I decided to start. Let's get this show on the road. Literature Devil, how are you doing today?
Hello, doing pretty good today.
Hi,
thanks for having me on.
You. Of course, always. Please let everyone know where they can find you.
You can find me on Literature Devil, the channel, YouTube channel. Talk about narrative structure and characters, and mainly Mary Sue's and all that sort of stuff.
Excellent. I'm glad you're here, because I think there's a Mary Sue in this show. A few Mary Sues in this show.
Very generous, because now Ray was by herself in the dictionary under the Mary Sue. Now they have Galadriel, so they can be partners together.
I feel like that Nori chick is also a bit of a freaking Mary Sue. It's like, okay, she's just weird. And then we got Scott. What's going on, Scott?
What's up, Nina? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Tell everyone who you are and where they can find you.
Hey, everybody. I'm Scott, or also known as Sporking. My channel is Sporking News Podcast. You could find me on the YouTube, the Twitter, the Instagram, and other places. Subscribe.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay. And,
I'm sorry. I got no feel for this episode at all. Like, you ever watch like an episode where it's like kind of like a or like a work like training you have to do online? You know what I mean? Like, and you just stare at it and you're like, I don't even know what I just saw. That was
it's like those, totally like those work training things where it's like you're just
what was that? I'll just sign it. I'm good.
What the fuck was I doing? Script Doctor, hi, good to see you.
Hey, I don't know what I watched.
Yeah, that's the perfect Script Doctor pose. Yeah,
that's literally what I was like. What am I watching right now?
They're trying so hard to be epic. It's kind of funny.
I fell asleep like 3 times.
I fell asleep 4 times trying to watch this. I have not finished it. I haven't even completed the episode yet.
Where did LD go? What happened?
I don't know. Did he drop out?
You hit the wrong button.
Oh.
Okay.
Like this show.
Bye. They're trying
all we needed.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's all we needed.
So do you guys like it? Boosh wants to know. As if you couldn't tell by the fact that everybody fell asleep on this episode, I can only speak for myself and say it was fucking shit.
That's it, man. Like, you know what kills me?
Did I remember tents?
Yes.
There were tents? I don't know.
Yes.
I
want to talk about those tents, because I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is going on?
Like, this is one of those shows where you sometimes like might question, is this YouTuber really hate it, or is he, they're just playing? No, this show sucks. Like, I usually can find something in every show that I'm like, well, that wasn't bad. Like, the only thing I kind of maybe liked was the Dwarven Kingdom, and now they weren't even in this episode. Like, it's just all I found out was the Harfoots are cruel son of a bitches. They're terrible.
Yeah.
Horrid. That's it.
And the only thing I liked about this episode was the actor that played.
Yeah,
what was his name?
Halbrand?
No, the
guy?
No, the father of Sildu.
Oh yeah,
Elendil.
Yeah.
Elendil.
Because he was the only based one. He was like, "Shut up, daughter."
Yeah,
that
one. That dude, he was pretty cool.
And the daughter failed. The daughter failed and then had to reapply. I was blown away by that. Like,
I was a little shocked about that
too. Fail. It's like, oh yeah, we kind of skip over the failure to get to her success.
That guy.
That's true.
He was all right.
By the way,
and then he was like surrounded by fucking failures and just a giant mess. So it's like, like what?
I kind of noticed this when I was going over the dialogue of the first episode. Let me see here. I tweeted out. I noticed this. There is a line in the beginning that says, "For his orcs had spread to every corner of Middle Earth, multiplying even greater under the command of his most devoted servant, a cruel and cunning sorcerer. They call him Sauron. Now, so Sauron is like, okay, orcs, get to mating. So if you don't know, so you know the word the popular curse word fuck. Now one of the popular theories as to how that came about was that it's shortened for fornicate under the command of the king.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's one of the theories of where it comes from, is fornicate under the command of the king. And I immediately thought of that when I heard so Sauron was commanding them to multiply. That's exactly what it says in the beginning. They multiply even greater under the command. Sauron's like, go forth.
Yeah,
and
totally would fight for him if he let me.
Down each other.
Right? Wouldn't that be a great way?
Go forth and multiply in order to destroy, be destructive and multiply. I guess. That's
but you could kick back and be like, you know what? This isn't too bad. We get to have a lot of sex.
No wonder they follow this guy.
Yeah, I'd be like, Sauron, where's the hot orcs? You know,
I mean, it just makes the orcs seem dumb because it's like, well, why do we need his permission to knock boots?
Yeah. Well, no, but you could be like, hey, what's up? Sauron told me to have sex with you.
My first question was, did they double check this dialogue? Because did they do this on purpose? My second question is, if they did this on purpose, did they make Sauron an army of incels? Because it's exactly what incels want.
No,
this is exactly what they said.
Sauron is a pimp. That's what
government
they're trying to say.
The government owes me a girlfriend. That's exactly what the incels proclaim. Like the government, they think the government owes them a girlfriend. So
maybe
is this it? Like this is actual in their totally serious TV show. They have Sauron apparently ordering all the orcs to go and get really, really jiggy with each other.
Yeah, I thought they were like tortured elves. That's what I thought they were, tortured elves.
No.
Sauron the pimp.
Okay.
Make love, then war.
Yeah.
Go forth and mate.
Then war. Yeah.
You didn't. You know what? Lit Devil, though, you have to ask your question of the chat before we spoil anything.
Yeah, before we get into everything, I want to ask everyone who's seen the third episode, before we sway anybody or anything like that, how does everyone feel about Halbrand?
Hang on.
What?
Scott, what the hell?
That was that pre? No, that's pre lockdowns.
Why'd you have to distract me with?
I'm sorry. You know, sometimes
My
the
nipples are exposed.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's the doctor's prescription.
I apologize, Aldi. I apologize.
Take 6 abs and call me in the morning.
I know, right? Jesus Christ.
But I want to know how did people like, in comparison, relatively speaking? You know, of course, it's a terrible show, but how did people like Throndir? No, what's his name? Not Throndir, but Halbrand, compared to everyone else in the show. Like upper, lower. Do you like him better than most?
That's a good question.
Really good question. Holy shit!
What?
Low watermark just
$50
gave me
Wow.
$50.
Low mark. Oh, that's awesome.
You didn't even
With
say
nothing.
anything.
You didn't even say anything. That's a pimp move. That's a Sauron
That's
move.
a Sauron move right here. Just dropping $50 to say nothing.
Wow.
Freaking low watermark, just dropping it like it's hot.
That's
Thank you.
awesome.
That's
awesome.
amazing. Thinking about your question. Okay, so here's the thing. I liked him in the first episode. Well, okay. Let me backtrack here. It's not that I liked him. I just think he's the most, like, the best looking person out of basically everyone, especially in the first two episodes. Because Elendil is kind of good looking too now. So I'm like, all right, you know, he's a little bit older, but he's still like a silver fox, so he looks good. But like the elves don't look great. They all look like shit. Like there's nothing going on like on the screen, visually speaking. So, but then when he did that move where he's like in the second episode where he's like he did that thing with the water and he's like, yeah. So then I was like,
the water, no water.
Total romance novel cover right there.
That was a turnoff. I was like, you're trying way too hard now. Like it's like, you know, at first he was cool because it was like, oh, he's bad. He's like a bad, but he doesn't care what anybody thinks of him, you know. But now he's all like I don't know. It's like a try hard. It's like no.
I asked that question mainly because I know that there's one thing as to why people don't like Galadriel, and then of course everyone's like, oh, you're sexist because you like all these men. You don't like all these male characters. You don't like Galadriel because she's a woman, right? It's like, and then all the poor normies out there who don't know this stuff are like, oh yeah, I guess I am sexist. I better work on myself. Like, no. You are not sexist. It's
I
because
better work on myself.
yeah, I better reconstruct myself and go to therapy because everyone has to go to therapy to get rewired or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's why it's so glorified. But even though you have nothing wrong with you, like you're not sexist, you're just normal. Because if you notice, Galadriel, no humility. Now, one thing that you have to have as a hero is humility. It's a foundational element of heroism. If you go back and look at, I'm making a video on this, but with some of the stuff some of the characters I reference are like Daniel LaRusso from Karate Kid. What happens to him in the beginning? Oh, he fights the bully and gets a face full of sand in front of everyone. Total humiliation. That's Balthazar Bucks. Never-ending story. Gets tossed into a dumpster. Poe, Kung Fu Panda, he is fat and flabby and gets made fun of by the good guys. And then, so all these male characters, they're all lesser. They're all like stomped on and belittled and humiliated so they can grow, and they do grow. While Galadriel, how does she begin? Oh, she's so awesome, everyone's jealous of her. Like that's how she begins. So that's the start. That's why everyone hates her from the beginning, because she's never humbled.
And she's so arrogant too, Lit Devil.
And arrogant know-it-all who's never humbled. And this is a common trait with a lot of these girl power Mary Sues, is that they go through things that seem like we've seen them before, like they seem like they're heroes, but they're not.
You don't know. You have not seen what I have seen.
You have not seen what I've seen. And
it's a very human trait too, and that's one of the problems I have with it, is because it's so human. Like the Galadriel's character, just generally speaking, like from minute one was just so human. So I'm like I want elves
the pettiness and stuff. You mean like just that?
I would say they're human in terms of they should not be that, because they're supposed to be enlightened, but they're not really human in terms of how they act. They're more like they're like robots or something like that in terms of they don't have any other sides to them. Like Galadriel is just angry. Like like they're supposed like I said before the last time, like she and Elrond are supposed to be friends, but they don't act like humans would be friends. Like Elrond is the one giving all the love and attention, where Galadriel is just belittling him,
even though he's so much younger than her. You know what I mean?
Like,
he's just giving him his dick flattening, and he's like, oh please.
Yes,
he wants the high heels, Lit Devil.
He definitely does. So they're not written like people. They're not written like people. They're not written like human beings would connect with each other normally. So that's why Galadriel is so unlikable, and it appears to be like whatever, she's like every other character out there. And like oh look, no, she's like John Wick, because John Wick started off awesome. You didn't hate him, right? Well, John Wick has not only is he like has years under his belt of being a veteran assassin, but look at the movies. Look what happens. The entire trilogy is all about his flaw getting in the way, and him gradually losing all the things he loves, the world that he feels comfortable in, the keepsakes of his wife. He's losing everything. What does Galadriel lose? Nothing. Like the only time she ever gets any payback, any blowback from her decisions, is when they say, "Oh, you're too crazy. We need to send you back to the Undying Lands." But then she's right.
Well, supposedly she lost her brother because, Sauron went and hunted him down and killed him.
But she never pleaded with him not to fight. That's the other part too. She wasn't worried or concerned about his well-being. It just sort of happened.
Well, he's a rock. He was a rock, guys. Come on.
But also, he's an elf, and he reincarnates, and he goes to that land where she was actually going to. So it's not like she's actually lost.
Seen her brother there
much. Like she's just gonna go to that fucking realm and then see her brother again. Like,
can you imagine that? Like going there and be like, "Oh, you totally bit it. You totally bit it." You know.
By the way, did they ever name her brother in the show? Because I don't think they do. Like she's just kind of there.
They named the first one, but not the other two. Did they? I think they merged all the brothers into one.
Like his name is Finrod in the show.
Yeah.
I think so.
So I know that because I looked it up on the little Amazon thing. They tell me in this information, but I never heard his name in the show.
I forgot.
It's usually because a lot of male characters are just supposed to be men. They're not really a character in and of themselves.
Men, use that word loosely, please.
Well, men. They're supposed to be they're supposed to be representation of the male gender. So there's another thing why we hate these shows instinctively, because in the other movies, it's like, oh yeah, there's Johnny Lawrence. He's the bad guy. Johnny Lawrence is Johnny Lawrence. He's not men. So in these things, they're not one particular bad guy. They're men. They're a gender that she has to contend with.
And someone said in the chat, and I realize that they're not men. They're elves. But even elves, even if they look beautiful, they still have like the men should have and they don't in this show. But like Legolas, you still feel he's powerful.
Oh yeah,
he's talented.
But I think a better example is actually Arwen's father. which is like
Elrond.
Elrond.
Yeah.
In the
Same
original,
guy.
Yeah, in the original trilogy, because you could see the different versions and the different aspect of his character. Because when he's with
Layers.
Arwen, he's fatherly,
right.
and he's like he cares about her, and you can see him be more emotional and more vulnerable with her. And then when he's with Aragorn, he's a little bit different, and he's like a little bit more. Exactly. He's a little bit more standoffish, kind of like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But also cares about him though. Cause you could, he's like a kind of stepfather to him. So you can tell that he also cares about him,
Like
and
tough
blah,
love.
blah, blah. But exactly. Kind of like tough love. And then he's got that other side of him where that's like his masculine side, where he's like, he's carrying the weight of the world on him, and the fact that the world is going to end soon, and he has to figure out what to do. And you can see his seriousness as well. So there's all these different parts of him, versus this character who's just completely just
angry.
That's it.
Well,
just one dimensional.
Let's take the hero of both ones. We have her who's just angry and thinks no one is smart, and she knows the answer and people need to listen to her. And then you have someone like Aragorn, who he is the king. He doesn't want to be the king. He calls himself Strider, and he hides from his own destiny. And some of the men, the first men he meets in the Fellowship, Boromir, you will never be my king. By the end, he wishes he was able to ride with him to Gondor, and calls him his king. Like Aragorn, you see the greatness in him, even though he doesn't see it in himself through the reading, and through the movies. It's just with her, there's no greatness. It's just anger. Like she literally, the dude's like at one point, she's trying to sneak away. She has her little dagger, and he's like, what happens if I blow the horn? She's like, I will still get to the ship. Like there's a whole mess of guards over there. You're just going to kill everybody and make it to the ship because you're so amazing. You're going to be able to steal the ship and not get shot out of the water or nothing because you're awesome. Yeah, you're awesome.
And it's not like an element of surprise that at least gives her maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead before everything just rains down on her. It's just going to walk its way through.
Yep.
It's going to be because even though the Numenorian are not ordinary men, she's just going to win. But also with what was it, Halbrand? With Halbrand, I like to mention that they're both drawn in before the Numenorian Queen Regent, of course they have a queen, but
sure,
flaring nostrils lady.
Yeah, for some reason the dude, the king, is somewhere else.
The king is a man and therefore has no purpose being in this movie. He has no value because he's a man. But the thing is, there's Galadriel and I keep wanting to say Throndir. It's Halbrand. But they keep going in and they bring him to the queen. And they're both in this position of being lesser, being, just humbled or something like that. So here's the thing. This would have been a good scene to actually have Galadriel finally humbled.
Yeah.
So Halbrand is like, oh, go ahead and kneel. Right. So go ahead and kneel. Like, obviously you kneel in front of royalty. And that's not a sense of we're better than, or you need to submit. It's a sign of respect. And it is a sense of you need to submit because they're royalty. You have
it's their realm.
Yeah. Even other nobles will give other nobles, even if they're the same station, some level of respect.
Yeah.
Something like that. So of course Halbrand is like, go ahead and kneel. And then Galadriel, for the first time, I was like, oh my goodness, they're gonna let her kneel? They're gonna let her kneel to a queen? She's gonna take a submissive position to someone else? And then boom, immediately. The first time ever in a fantasy world, they not only do they put a stop to it, because you can't have Galadriel kneel because she's a Mary Sue power fantasy, masturbatory fan fiction character.
Yeah.
But they also have to smash in Halbrand's teeth. Because he's like,
sorry.
Because he's like, go ahead and kneel, and he's the only one that gets humiliated. She's like, no one kneels in Numenor.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh.
Yeah, we do not kneel in Numenor.
He's the only
or some
one
shit
embarrassed.
like that.
So out of the two who should be on equal ground, the writers are like, no, Galadriel can't be embarrassed. We'll just have Halbrand be embarrassed.
Yeah.
That's what men are there for. They're there to be stupid and to be hunks of meat.
And what kills
me? They embarrass him again after Galadriel gives her title, which is 4 or 5 sentences, and then we just go to Halbrand. He's like, Halbrand.
He's the king in the north.
Yeah, and I'm Halbrand. I swear I was waiting
like-
for her
I
to
was
be like,
expecting to go
I'm
like,
the
"I'm
breaker of
Toby."
chains.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
But you know what kills me too in that scene is like you're right. Like that could have been a great scene where she could have used diplomacy, something. Elves haven't been there for centuries, maybe even millennia, and she doesn't know why. And instead of that, she pretty much threatens them.
Yeah, immediately.
And she's
like, "I'm
all
gonna
by
kill
herself. Yeah, she's all by herself. It's unbelievable. Wow, $51.
Oh
Holy
my
crap.
God. Jay Schwabach, thank you so much for the $51 just to say,
Wow.
take that, little watermark.
Amen.
Oh, thank you. I like your puppy. Your puppy's so cute.
That is awesome.
It blends well into the background too.
Yeah, I know. It's so cute. Oh, and I like a little.
Oh yeah,
puppy.
he's in Numenor.
Aw.
Or she, I
And-
don't want to genderfy your dog.
One more super chat here, which is kind of funny. Serial for 3 says, have you seen female orcs? I wouldn't multiply.
Okay.
I have
Guys.
seen them, and I would disagree, depending on what female works.
Yeah, depending on
Hello.
what show. Yeah, right.
My
Let
goodness.
me ask a question if anybody knows the lore better than I. But
Damn,
because
knife is.
knife is, I got my racial
That feels
slur
so-
on.
That's so not insulting.
No, it isn't. I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah. And they're bigger than yours. What I don't get is this. Like, I thought orcs, maybe I'm wrong, Orcai, maybe it's Orcai, but I thought orcs were elves that were twisted by the darkness and
That's where orcs came
turned
from.
ugly, right? Am I wrong?
There were
different
elves
kinds.
corrupted by Sauron,
Yeah.
or Molgoth,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Melkor, whatever his name is. But they were elves first, and then they were twisted into orcs.
Right.
That's what I read anyway.
And then they just started banging? Because I don't know. I thought he created them all. Maybe I'm wrong. And then they started pulling them out of dirt too, the Orcai. I have no
Apparently
clue.
they multiply and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. The Uruk-hai is supposed to be like a mix between men and orcs. So I don't know exactly how that worked. Maybe
The
like, okay, we don't
Uruk-hai
wanna show-
were elves. There were elves and orcs. It's like a mix of them. And
No,
then
yeah, that's
they
right.
were
Or
they
men.
were the ones, but they were made by Saruman, not
Yeah.
Sauron. Sauron's orcs are different. They're,
Wow.
they're like a different breed.
There's
Look at
literally a
you with
syllable
the-
difference between
Look
the
at
orcs.
you. Look at
Well,
you with the
I knew
Saruman.
I knew that for the
Galadriel.
movies because
Yeah.
he would wear the white hand of Saruman. And then
Oh my
that-
God.
According to
they made
Twitter,
them-
if you can roll your tongue, you know better than a Tolkien person. You're more authentic than a person who's
Yeah.
like studied Tolkien.
Oh,
for
I'm in
years.
I'm in a good place because I got those.
Yeah,
down
and I-
just fine.
I think rolling R's is
Saruman.
racist.
Sauron,
I find it racist.
Saruman.
Saruman.
God.
What's the captain's name? His name is. Where's my
Oh my
paycheck when I get on this show?
Oh man.
Like, look at these. By the way, they kind of look like the new Klingons, in my opinion, from Discovery.
Oh
Like
yeah.
almost
I can see it.
exactly like the fucking Klingons in Discovery.
They look like
which
they're
makes no
wearing
fucking
white
sense.
face.
They are.
Is that because of the sun or
in
something?
Discovery, like in Star Trek Discovery, they look like this. They look.
Are you
like,
kidding me?
No,
They
the
kinda do,
Klingons
yeah.
look like this.
Kind of like orcs. It's weird.
I thought
It's
we had.
really fucking
Wow,
weird.
Klingons at all.
I'm so glad I
Neville
never.
Flynn
Now that you bring
or
up
Neville
this scene,
Page.
Klingorks.
It reminds me of one complaint I had. Like, where's all the violence?
Yeah.
Where's all the violence in the
Mhm.
show? Like, this is Lord of the Rings, and there's supposed to be like a Galadriel the warrior, but we haven't really seen much violence. And then we finally get a scene where the orc slits some guy's throat, and it's like a little
Yeah,
line
it's
across
like a
his neck.
shaving.
It's like
Where's-
there's like a
where's the
line. I was
violence?
like, what is that?
First
And
of
then
all,
a sudden there's like all this blood. I'm like, it was like a fucking scratch. Like I've had shaving scratches that were more hardcore than that.
right. And what blows my mind is okay, the authenticity. A freaking orc blade would not be so sharp that it could slice a neck like that, and you don't even see it like a razor. Like a razor, no. They have these blunted. Yes, they have a sharp edge, but they are not quality blades that would cut you like that. These are like the little things
They're
like
much more blunt.
yes, like
Yeah.
they're meant to just crush you and break through you, not like "Tsa," like a like "Tsa." I got nip tuck, yeah. You know, I
So
don't
if you
know.
survive, it's not an easy wound to stitch up because it's a rough room that's split all over.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's messy. Also, I think this show would be a lot more or a lot easier to contend with this long runtime if it had more dramatic tension and it had more physical confrontation, like really substantial physical confrontation. Not one guy gets his throat slit really easily.
Yeah.
Like if they had more like substantial battles and they played more into the story, I think people would be able to pay attention more. It's Lord of the Rings.
All the
swords and
elves
elves.
suck.
I mean, I would have liked if they're gonna I mean, they kind of tried to do this in the end of the episode where like they're like the elves are like having the revolt or whatever, but it didn't work.
Didn't go their way.
It
But
didn't go
elves are
anywhere.
bitches, man. Like, except for Galadriel and
Galadriel.
and knife ears, like the rest of them go down pretty easy. Like elves are great warriors. I don't understand. First of all, how they got caught. Like a whole battalion of elves got caught and put in their mind.
Because
we didn't even get told how.
Don Numenor, it made sense that he got caught because he went into the fucking hole and then he, found his way to that place and then whatever, he was like, whatever, doing his thing. And then they set up that place where he's like, for the trailer, he gets pulled through the fucking wall.
Yeah.
But that scene was set up for the trailer.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing else. And then all of a sudden he gets there and all of his buddies are there too, including the guy who he was talking to.
The leader of them, right?
Yeah, the leader, whatever. Like the guy that was like, let's go. Like the king has called us home now. Like
you're telling me 10 elves can't beat them, Nina. 10 elves couldn't beat at least 100 orcs. We see like 6 or 7 guys in the Fellowship of the Ring kill like 1,000 orcs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like these guys are supposed to be top line and they all get caught.
No wonder they need the men to help them out against Sauron.
Yeah, right.
They're the ones that can fight.
A bunch of
this
bitches.
show is like, it makes absolutely no sense. 300 Mirrors is right. There was one part that I was so confused about, and that was there was a couple parts that I was very confused about. Let's talk about that for a second, because starting with the fact that this is so the show starts with the scene where Don Numenor is caught and he gets thrown into with the rest of the slave elves or whatever, and then the camera pans out, so we're seeing this weird cloth cave looking thing.
Right.
Which makes no fucking sense at all. And you're like, what the hell is that?
Well, I mean, to keep the sun out, we get it. Like, but
but
still, like,
it makes no fucking sense. Because we'll get into that, why it doesn't make sense. But then, it pans out into basically kind of like how Galadriel is waking up, having this kind of like nightmare of seeing them be caught. Like it's like as if she's connected to Don Numenor, even though she's never met him. She doesn't know who he is or whatever. Like he's just some dude. But somehow I think this is the first scene where we get kind of like an inkling of how she might have telepathy or she might be magical in some way, and this is the way they chose to do it, which I thought was kind of weird. Like I was like, okay, so she does have telepathic powers then, because she's clearly telepathically connected to what's going on over there.
Yeah, I get that sense too. Like I was glad you brought that up backstage, because I was talking to somebody else about that and they didn't see that at all, but I was like, well, a lot of times when you split scenes from one scene to another, there's a connection. So to me, I thought they probably didn't try to do that, but I thought in my mind, like she must have sensed something and it woke her up. She doesn't know what's going on, but she sensed either the evil or them in danger. And like, that's what woke her up. Cause let's not forget, she's like one of the most powerful, like sorceresses in the world, but probably not.
What did you guys think? LD, Script Doctor, did you guys think that scene was kind of like hinting at the fact that she's connected to the elves that are enslaved now? Or
I think it's
was
just
that
plot
just
contrivance. I think it's just like, okay, you need to have an idea of where she's knowing what's going on when she gets back home or something. Like, oh, I had visions of this.
It's like she has a feeling. And I was like, well, but this is the first time. Sanders says it was just bad editing. I don't know. It felt really like they were trying to make it seem like she's connected to the elves. She has this feeling that something is wrong, and it's like that's why she can't sleep.
Mary Sue Power is activating. She just knows the plot.
She knows the plot.
The thing is that we've never seen her, as far as I can remember, interact with Don Numenor.
No.
And that's the transition between him and her in that opening shot or that early shot. So because we've never seen these characters interact, there's no way for us as an audience to logically understand why there'd be a connection to her worrying about him and other elves. Yeah. Because at this point, it's like well, is this the only group of elf slaves under the orcs? Are there
Right.
other elves that are in dire peril? Like, if that's the case, and she could sense this, she would be completely oversaturated with these senses and could never focus on anything. So you have to kind of like keep it. You have to figure out what the rule is. Kind of like with the Force, the only reason Obi-Wan Kenobi felt what he felt is they were closing in on Alderaan, and when it happened, and then only a few minutes later in that scene do they come out of hyperspace and it's just a meteor shower. It's not like he's having this on Tatooine. It's like, oh my god, Alderaan, something happened. Millions of voices cried out all the time. No, we understand from that context that there's a limit. And here we get nothing of this. So it looks like, nope, she was just asleep. She dreamt. She woke up suddenly and didn't know if she was a prisoner or a guest.
See, I was like, wait, is she psychic? Like, it was as if like they were insinuating that she was a psychic. And speaking of amazing women, though, hi, it's Jane. Hi,
Hello.
Jane.
Oh, Jane.
Hey guys.
Hey.
How are you, Jane?
Good. Sorry I was late. I got the
It's all-
times mixed up.
It's all good. We're talking about Don Lemonor being enslaved, and I'm glad you're here because we were just about to start talking about my second point, which was what the fuck is up with this weird tunnel cloth situation, where they're just kind of like hanging out in the like under the cloths because for some reason not for some reason, we know that the orcs don't like sunlight.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like vampires in this one.
Yeah.
They're just burning it.
But
Somehow.
they were actually burning. Like, it was very vampire-ish.
Wait,
I
they
was
were
like,
physically burning?
yeah.
Like World of Warcraft players, they kind of burn in the sunlight.
Yeah, because there was a couple where they were like, and you're
Just
like,
steaming and everything.
oh,
Like
yeah.
Nosferatu.
They were totally pulling that, and I was like, what the hell? And that's when Don Lemonor was like, oh, they don't like sunlight, and then he tried to take that thing down, because then the sun would shine on them, but it just but the idea of it though makes no fucking sense, because when you look at it like from far away, they're insinuating that this entire path here, all of this,
Just a bunch of tarps.
it's a bunch of tarps.
Also, it's kind of funny that we're in this way of the tree. This tree is in our way, so we can't continue unless we like break through this tree. But at first it's like, okay, so this giant tree is in their way, and then okay, well, it must be in the forest. So they have the guy go up there, have Don Lemonor like, okay, I'll chop the tree down. And then he gets up there, and they've already chopped down all the trees. Like, why is this one a big deal?
And why was it left?
They made
why
a
did
couple
they
of
chop it down
curves
already?
around trees in that one shot. We can see at least two
Like,
curves.
there's so
where they
many.
made around.
Well, it's almost like they were like,
trees
watch
there.
this. We're going to leave this one tree and make the elf cut this one down. Like, we already made them cut all the other ones down, but for
just
some
to be
reason, we're really going to be dicks and say, hey, by the way, you missed one. You know, like, what?
While they could have just gone around too. It's
Yeah.
like they could have just like gone around, but
Yep.
no.
Like,
Like,
the
look, there's
overcome
a stump right there. Like,
the scene they do it with is like it draws out, like he gets the axe and he gets up there and they pan out the camera and it's going to be dramatic, saying like, oh my goodness, look at the destruction these evil orcs have wrought, and then you're going to be the elf who chops down the last tree in this area. But then it's dramatic if you think about it, unless you think about it for a few seconds, and then it's like, wait a minute, why is this the only tree left? Why is this a big deal about cutting it
he
down?
was saying it's the roots in the way, not the actual tree. But the other trees have roots too, though. Like,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are those not other trees?
Yeah, like on the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They
this,
are.
but you're not
I
supposed to
see
think about
leaves
those,
To
Jane.
the right.
They even talk about look for the tree line.
Many
Like,
trees.
they're like, check out the tree line, but we ain't gonna kill trees,
These are
guys.
trees.
Like,
It would have
what?
made more. I mean, it makes no sense, but it would have made more sense if all of that was just clear and barren land. In the back.
Right, one
Right.
tree. Yeah.
And
It's
this is the
like all
last
of it, like
tree.
even this stuff here, like all gone.
all
You know,
gone.
you know what? I think that's like the best saying there, Jane. Like, this whole show could be, it would have made more sense, and then insert line there,
Anything.
because that's what I got from this whole episode.
That's what I got too. Like, minus the parts where I was like literally just falling asleep.
Yeah.
Half the time I was like, what is happening in this episode? Real quick, let me get this super chat here. John Thomas, thank you so much for the $20. Says, oh my God, I just realized they stole Galadriel's story from Maximus in Gladiator. I am Galadriel, leader of the Northern armies, wife of a murdered husband, sister of a murdered brother, and I will have my revenge. My God, that is true.
Decius Galadriel Maximus.
There are also parallels to She-Ra, apparently.
Also, the first part is 300, where they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
the evil empire is coming." No, it's not, Leonidas. You're stupid. No, it's not. You can't fight during the Carnea. And it's like, okay, well then I'll just I'll go anyway, which is what she was about to do.
Yeah, you're retarded. Like, don't.
I'll
go.
just take these 20 elves and we'll just go around for a
Here's
few
my
hundred years.
pedestal golem, 300 elves. And just gonna go.
Let's just take these team of elves.
We're gonna go to the hot gates, and we're gonna destroy Sauron there.
Yeah.
200 Watt Studios for 2 says, oh my Lord, Nita, you look incredible tonight. Thank you. I'm ready because my mama's here. And right after the stream, we're going to go out for dinner. And I'm so excited to see her. I haven't seen her yet.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'm so excited. So moving right along with this. So Jane, tell me your thoughts because you came in late. So what did you think of this episode? And
oh my gosh,
how'd you feel about
seriously
all of it?
Like the worst one yet. Every episode is just completely empty and lifeless, and nothing makes sense. So yeah, I mean it's on brand at this point with Rings of Power.
Did
this scene. Oh my
did
God.
you feel empowered the way I felt empowered when I saw this Persian girl on stream? When you saw this Black Queen on stream,
Nothing about
Nubian
her
goddess
made me feel empowered.
Empowered.
she was kind of a bitch. This queen, like I was like, I don't understand why.
That's
How
what
is
empowerment looks like.
Where's the king?
Women who are meant to empower you are all like that.
Didn't
They have one personality they share.
Didn't she go up to a room and talk to her? I don't know who is the king. Who is where? What? Why do they hate elves?
Nobody can tell me why they hate elves. Like,
give me
I
some
still
info.
Don't get it. I don't
Give me
get it.
Anything.
Elves abandon people, so that's why they're hated.
Why are the Harfoots not like hunted down for genocide? Those people are horrible. They killed their own. They're like, oh, you stubbed your toe, you fall behind.
The king is not
there we go,
around,
yeah.
but she's got this weird looking
like
vizier, I guess. Like
Yeah.
she's like this supposed to be.
It's her little
he's
finger.
probably
I don't
evil.
know.
He's probably evil because all the fucking viziers are usually evil. It's like, okay. Like he's probably like this, the hound. Like somehow he's working for Sauron,
Just
in,
far.
in whatever way. I don't know.
He's
but
like
somehow.
worm tongue or
In
whatever.
this scene, I would say that Galadriel has one moment. Like this is the best Galadriel's been, and it's just for this one moment where she kind of nods to the captain and says, "He saved us." And that's about it. That's like the most gracious, the most
I missed that.
The most humble she's ever been was to acknowledge that the captain said, saved us from drowning. I was like, wow, she actually had a moment there where she just doesn't praise herself.
She wasn't
or
a total cunt.
Yeah, not totally.
She
That's
also
99%.
thanked him later, to be fair.
Yeah, so this is the episode where she's at her most, most humble, but still not nearly as humble as normal people should be.
What were you gonna say, Jane?
Something. Is he not her husband in this?
No, this dude is the vizier. The king is somewhere else, which
Wait
they
a
go
minute.
to at the end of the fucking line.
Are we sure?
I'm so lost.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, the king is somewhere else, and then they went there to see the king in the end, and then we don't see the king.
I missed that completely because I thought that's who that was supposed to be.
I thought she was like Queen Regent or something like that, so I didn't know
because
what
the
was
king
going
is
on.
somewhere else, and then they were talking about how the king stood up for the elves. Like, this is what I understood from it. Was that when they were having a conversation with not Halbrand, the other guy, this dude, when they were like having a conversation with Elendil, and he's telling them about and she figures out the whole oh, this is Mordor and blah blah blah. They were talking about and she's like, oh, the elves aren't welcome here now, and blah blah blah. Like in this scene here, he talks about how oh, not all the kings are bad, or not all the royalty is bad because some kings are still in your corner, and it's this king, and that's why he's not around. Like that's kind of that's why they were that's what.
Oh,
yes, the king is exiled in the tower. That's exactly it. Drew.
Yeah.
Okay, Drew
so
got it.
That's what's okay. So
That's what
her
I
dad is
thought.
Still king.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that guy's
Okay,
not the king.
so we haven't. He hasn't married her and usurped her throne yet.
Okay, so I thought that was what. That's why I said I thought she was talking to her dad in the tower, and I would assume he's the king. And then
I fell asleep during part of it, so it's blurry. But
and that's okay. I'm sorry. It's word
I'm
vomit.
trying to figure out
James
where the
just
show is taking. Like,
focusing
what
at this
time
point.
period are we in? Everything is so freaking
So effed.
bizarre.
Yeah.
The king was doing dishes in the back. Thank you.
Okay,
sorry.
so that's where we
was
are. He hasn't
having his
taken over
daily
yet.
dick flattening. 'Cause that's what men have in this world. They just get dick flattened and humiliated.
Yeah.
That's what happens in Kings of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
The daily, like, never mind. I was going to say something bad. Never mind.
People are like, he's locked up or banished. I can't remember.
Yeah,
bad.
he's locked up.
so
Like,
sad. No one
that's what I
knows
remember.
or
He was like in a
cares.
tower or something, or like banished or something. And that guy was like, no, there's some people who still love you. The elves. That's me. And you're king. That's why they exiled him. And I was like, what? What?
Mm.
How you gonna fucking exile a king? Like that? It's not called a coup. Like when you're like exiling a king and then you pretend
Yeah.
you're in power. Like I don't get it.
That is a coup.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? So yeah, the people in this town really hate elves. We still don't actually know why. Like they didn't really explain it. They kind of give it like a hint at it about how, the elves, for some reason there was some battle, and they, I guess, I don't know, treated.
Did we even get that? I don't even know.
I don't
Yeah.
think they really explain it very well, but
No.
it's more so that Numenor is becoming more and more independent
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
removed from the elves, and they sort of want their own. How
But
would you
why the
describe it?
animosity though?
I don't remember there being animosity so much as they're just.
Oh, there's definitely animosity because she's
I know in the
walking
show,
around.
but I'm like
Yeah.
in the story. I think they're
Oh, okay.
exaggerating it at this particular stage.
See, and that's why, like Jane, when we were watching, remember, like when we kept talking about when the promo stuff was being released, and I was like, why aren't they showing her elf ears? Like, it just makes no sense to me. Now it's starting to make sense because it's like everywhere she goes, she's like, let me just hide my fucking elf ears because no one knows I'm a fucking elf. And it's like, bitch, you look like an elf. Like, I mean, they're gonna know.
She's
It's
too
I don't
tiny
know.
for an elf.
She's too tiny for an elf.
I'm surprised they gave her like a
Throughout the entire
bandana.
show, she's the smallest person in the shot, all times.
Yeah.
Oh, we do get to see a scene of so this is Aragorn, or no, sorry, I mean Aragorn's dad,
Isildur.
Isildur, the guy who fucks up and like takes the ring for himself. That's him. Shame on you. Yes, he's like some dude that's just living his best life on a boat. What's up with that whole saying, by the way? What was it? The sea. What was it? The sea.
It's a rock. What? Oh.
Rock.
No.
The sea is what it is. It cannot
Float
be
or
treacherous.
something?
Is that what he was?
No, the sea is always
sea
right.
is always right.
The sea's always
Yeah,
right.
sea is
That's
always
right.
She's always right.
No.
The sea is always right. I was like,
See,
wait.
you don't realize that connects to the beginning where a rock sinks, but the boat flows. It's all linking in now, people.
Oh my god.
The boat
I'm
looks
so
up.
dumb.
The stone floats and the ship sinks.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I think I got this wrong here.
She's a witch. I got so copyright struck so many times for that. She's a witch.
Oh my god.
Can't even make fun of this show.
I want to know, why does her hair look so bad?
Which one? Because
Well, all of them, but
All of them.
Galadriel in particular.
Oh, wait a minute. First of all, did you see that? Remember that moment where they, in the beginning of the show, the beginning of this episode, where they linger on the captain, and I don't think they linger. The camera just lingers on the captain for no reason at all. Like, okay, we've seen it, and it just keeps lingering.
Mhm.
I think they linger on there because there's an Asian guy next to him, and they want to show off.
What?
Look,
We got an Asian dude.
I'm trying to find the scene.
No,
now.
you're right. You're right.
There's an Asian guy next to him. I'm like, they're not lingering on him because the captain there. They're lingering on him because they want to show off the diversity. Like, oh,
Yep.
look, an Asian guy.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's why. Also, they gave Isildur a sister, and my only conjecture is that they're going to make it somehow where if she's going to be a better warrior than him and a better leader and stuff like that.
Oh my
and
god,
then,
you're
and
right.
then he only goes to the final battle because he's a man, he's a boy, and he's like, oh, and men get like better treatment or whatever. And that if it's going to insinuate that if she would have gone, the ring would have been destroyed, and it's the failing of men, not women,
See,
but men.
no,
right.
That's my prediction. That's my prediction.
She actually cuts the ring off, but hides really fast. That's what you didn't realize.
Oh my
hides in his
god, there's
backpack.
the Asian guy.
Yeah, look.
Right
Look,
there.
look, the camera's not even
Oh,
sitting on him.
and then you got maybe is that a black guy on the right, or
Yeah,
maybe
look.
like
The
it's
camera's
like
not
look at
even
us, we
sitting
got so many different diversity.
It on this part real quick, but it's not really sitting on the captain that much. They made sure to get all the diversity in picture and lingered on the diversity.
You know what I noticed? What a shitty armor they have. I can't tell if it's leather painted or like I don't know what it is. It
Dude,
just
look
looks
at the Asian guy's
Yeah,
armor.
that's what I mean.
Looks like shit. I mean,
It
at least this guy's armor
looks
has
worn.
got something going on.
Yeah.
Like he's got some patterns going on.
It looks
What
like he has a
is
rank
that?
around the shoulders, and then everybody else just has the general.
Yeah, but dude, it
you know,
doesn't look like bronze. It doesn't look like it looks
Valley
like
Village
plastic.
vest.
It looks
This
like plastic.
Like Spirit Halloween. Like I'm gonna go
Yeah.
buy myself a fucking armor so I
Yeah.
can be a warrior wannabe and on Halloween
So
night.
cheap. So cheap.
So bad.
cheap. But yeah, so you get some. I don't know. Did you guys like the aerial shots of Numenor? I mean, I guess they were nice.
Yeah, there was moments. I mean, but do we always have to go to that? Like the scenery is so cool. Like I don't give a shit anymore. I want to have
Yeah,
good
alright.
dialogue. It looks like Greece.
We've seen it so much already, though. It's in every trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
They probably
true.
would have retained more viewers with areola shots instead.
Look, like this is when she's getting off the fucking boat. I was rolling my eyes so hard, and everyone's just like giving her these looks, like,
Oh, they're whispering.
God,
It's an elf. It's an elf.
it's an elf. You know what's so crazy? It's like this kind of stuff is actually really similar to what happens in like The Witcher, like the game.
Yeah.
Like how everybody like hates it's a fucking elf.
Yeah.
Like we've got to get away from it. And I was just like, dude, what the like? Is this like The Witcher mixed with Lord of the Rings? Like,
Like the
What's
Witcher and Dragon Age.
What's
Yeah.
so bizarre, though, is that they have people here who look so pedestrian.
Yep.
And it's like, this is the most advanced civilization on Earth.
Yeah.
That's not Elven. And these people live for extended lifetimes.
Closest
They
to
have
elves.
forever to be great.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't find just random homeless looking people on the
Can you
street.
imagine if you're that guy? Like,
There's so many random homeless.
I've lived 100 years and all I do is shovel shit. You know, like that's
Haven't
your
invented
life.
a better way to do it. That's your job.
Shit, man.
More
Is
interesting
that
than the
like,
Holy
is that
Grail.
like is it like communism? Like, do you get assigned a job and
Right.
like, that's it? That's your entire life. Like,
Terrible.
Yes, my lord. Also, I noticed that in this scene, Halbrand. So of the two, like they both hate elves. I mean, everyone hates elves. Halbrand is there. He's a fellow man. But it's only Halbrand who gets confronted by people of Numenor, like oh, you drinking no ale, you no food, or what's
Yeah.
left. And Halbrand is like, being charming, like, oh, you forgot to mention your women. Like,
No. Yeah.
what a boss move. Also, after that, right? So they approach him, they gang up on him, and he goes, fine, you know what? I have been a little too, I've taken advantage a little too much and everything. And he says, I'll buy the rest of the drinks. Like he gets a moment. I mean, he's being clever. He's planning something else, but he gets a moment of humility where he's like, okay, fine. I've been the knee. I will buy you all drinks and everything. And then he steals that guy's brooch or whatever.
Yeah.
But, as revenge. But then there's that, he's partying with them. He says, okay, fine. You gave me something. I'll give you something in return. Like it's, this is why I think Halbrand is way more of a main character, because he actually has these moments where he succeeds and he fails. He succeeds, he fails, he succeeds, he shows humility. Like he's there, he's like respecting Galadriel, his instinctive motion when meeting the Queen Regent is to kneel, showing immediate humility and respect for her station. And then of course he gets knocked in the teeth with that. Like, no one kneels in Numenor. But the thing is, after that, he has this moment of humility where he's like, okay, fine, I'll do this. I'll buy you all drinks. And then he gets a moment of coolness where he's like, all right, I stole this thing. And he gets caught. So he's not the bestest ever. He gets caught because if he was the bestest, if he was Galadriel, he wouldn't have gotten caught. And then what happens? He's like, come on, guys, calm down. And then boom, he had the best, one of the coolest parts of the movie was the show was like when he beat them all up. He broke this guy's arm, and he just like he savaged them.
Yeah,
And
he
like,
went.
that was pretty
He
awesome.
went full Sauron.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, but can I ask a
All
question?
manipulation.
But can I ask a question? I thought they were supposed to be like, they had to stay at like the palace. Like, both of them are walking freely everywhere they go. Like, I thought they were like under watch. Like, but yet they slip everybody, and he's out at the bar.
No, not so much her, because she's like all like, oh, the elves are looking for the humans are looking for her, and she's like all like twirling and shit, and she's like, yeah, they can't find me because I'm like,
Yeah,
the
security
bestest
sucks.
ever. Like,
But you're talking about security
Yeah.
on an island. Where are they going to go?
Well, that's true.
Secure their ships.
But I mean, if you really hate a race of people, you're going to make it hard for them to do anything comfortable. And like, he was part of her party, but yet he's at a bar. Like, I just didn't I thought they were in a lot more like, oh, this is going to be one of those moments where like, you're our guest, but really you're our prisoner. But yet he's at the bar. Like, I didn't get it. Sorry.
yeah, he was like off like gallivanting, having
Yeah.
fun. This part, like,
How can
I
he
mean,
defeat them so easily?
yeah, because he tapped in his inner Sauron,
Well,
Jane.
yeah, I mean, we know what he's up to. It's just the Numenorians are portrayed so poorly that it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a kind of an interesting scene for me because I thought that it was a little bit too early for him to be kind of like beating up these people like the way he did. I thought it was like, because I mean, if you wanted to make it a gotcha, because right now, like in the first two episodes, they're insinuating that either it could be him, it could be the guy we think is Gandalf or whatever wizard, or it could be that kid who has the sword, the Persian girl's daughter, or I mean son. Although it could be a daughter at this point. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, you know.
I thought it was a girl.
I know, it's like that hair. But like at this point, it could be those three people, right? And then now they're like, oh, look at this vicious guy though. But it's only the third episode. So if you're gonna go with a gotcha, like at the end of the episode, like at the end of the season, like, oh, was this guy all along? Like, you know, like fucking Agatha all along kind of thing. Like, you're already giving us like, oh, the third episode, he's already this vicious bastard. Like that.
Yeah.
You're not
But
doing the setup right.
Wouldn't this backfire? Because these people aren't dead. So
No.
they're going to tell people.
Right. Right.
And how can they trust him after this?
Lock him up. And okay, if he is who they want,
That's a good point.
who we think he's going to be, like, did he steal that emblem that she was talking about being the rulers of the South? Like, did he just steal it? Because it seemed like it meant something to him, unless he's, being the deceivious, sorry, whatever. This show sucks.
This makes no fucking sense. He did get arrested, so I'm guessing next episode they're gonna be like, why did you beat the shit out of all those people?
I think Galadriel would have gotten arrested. They would have said, "Oh, we're so sorry. We forced you to beat us up."
No, she gets a ride to a library across the freaking island.
She gets to go to the library.
Yeah.
She gets people like, so they're like, oh man, you got the Galadriel here. Like everyone is just praising her and like everyone loves her and everything. While over there, Halbrand is getting stomped on. Like he's the guy that they should like the most because they hate elves there. But no, Halbrand is like, oh, stupid Halbrand, get out of here. I'm just bashing your teeth. No, you can't work here, you stupid man. You're a man. You don't get to do things here. All right, only women get to do things here.
This scene was so funny to me too because they have they have this weird art on the thing and they're like, oh yes, that's Elrond and look at this, so pretty. I was like, what the fuck is that painting? That looks like a piece of shit art. Like
Again.
like elven art. It looks awful. Like,
Elrond looks like Drago's wife. From, Rocky IV.
No, but he looks like a mix between him and the Liberace blacksmith.
oh my god.
Calabrinjo or whatever the frig his name is. I could never say their names. I can't say any of the A Song of Ice and Fire, so don't hold it against me, people.
This is when she was the most vulnerable in the episode, was with him. Like she finally had some like kind of nice-ish moments where she wasn't a total cunt.
Oh, because he fawns all over her.
And now we finally again know, Jane, why she was dressed in this ugly, horrid dress. It's not elven, it's human. Apparently, it's Numenorian. But why the Numenorians have this style of disgusting dresses for their women, who fucking knows? Because this is fucking ugly. They're like, dude, she's as flat as he is. I don't know.
Well, it looks like
wraps her chest.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It looks like they pull it down.
They do.
I assume it's because all the men have like women jobs, because that's progressive. So all the men are doing all the designs and they all suck.
Yeah.
that's my guess.
I think Tim Gunn would be pretty upset to hear that.
Oh my god, that's as good as a guess as any, though. Then they're in the library. They figure out, oh, that's Mordor, blah blah blah, and then they decide to go on a random horse ride, which I was like,
yeah, that blew my mind again. Like, oh, you don't think, I don't know. You seem to be like tension between the king and this captain. She pretty much said, here's the sword. If she does anything, chop her head off. And you take her across the island to like an ancient library, like where they love elves on this part of the island. Like, you're in trouble, dude. Like, just know you are.
And
Is
also,
that supposed to be a smile?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's upside down.
Yeah, she looks
Dude,
like she's shitting.
She
Like
was
a piranha
enjoying
smile.
She was enjoying herself a lot on that horse. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, this is deeply disturbing. Like, why is she like? I mean, I guess it's been a long time for her. Like, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's been a long fucking time because she's miserable. You know what? I feel like maybe after this, she'll be a little bit nicer because she's finally had an orgasm in like 200 years.
Right.
So maybe maybe that's what the problem was, is she missed the D. Like,
That's what the case was, and she comes back and the fire's gone. Like, oh, I feel good now. I don't
I don't really care about hunting for Sauron anymore. I feel kind of good.
Turns out it wasn't love for a brother or revenge. It was like, oh, it was this.
Yeah, can I catch another boat to the Undying Lands? Because I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm really good.
Now.
You know what?
Turns out the hunt for Sauron was the hunt for D the whole time.
Yeah,
like,
thank you, Mr. Ed. But like, I have a weird question also with her. Okay, again, they're free on this island. They're
I'm fucking dead right
That
now.
was awesome.
That's hilarious.
But like, okay, they're in that court. Remember that, like, they're in front of the queen. They leave, and yet he's able to hug that captain and steal a dagger. That's, I can't get it even in the picture. It's this big dagger, and no one noticed that her dagger was missing. That was confiscated.
No, and it was like right in front of everybody.
Everybody.
It was right in front of everyone. I was like, what is happening right now? Are they all this dumb? Like,
did you watch She-Hulk this week? Did you watch
Yes.
I felt like he was Donnie, like, ha
Totally.
like magic, so bad.
Bruh. Adam Wolford for 5 says this fight scene would have been better if they cut away before the fight and left it unknown. Numenorian humans were more powerful than normal. Ooh.
Yes. And bigger.
I agree.
Bigger. She should be called, but so should all of them.
Aren't they from like two different brothers, one human, one an elf or something like that? And that's how they were created. Like, there's something like they're the closest in relation to elves. Right. That's why they live longer lives, or they were gifted it. I don't remember.
It was a gift. The
island that's it. Okay.
Was a gift, and they're closer to them, which I think, if I remember correctly, expands their lifespans.
Okay. Who cares?
Sorry, I'm just reading some of these chats, and it's hilarious.
They are good.
That's wow. She's missing Celebrimbor.
Yeah, where's her husband?
Rod. Yeah. That's
Did
why
they mention them or
no? He's nowhere to be found, Jane, and that's why she misses the D. That's why she's a fucking miserable bitch.
Is she even married?
I've heard he was dead from some people, but I don't think the show's referenced.
They haven't mentioned him at all. Gary said that they mentioned him later on because in in the trailer, in one of the episodes, she said something like, "He killed my husband" or something like that. So you can hear her talk about the husband, but we don't know when that is going to come. Gary said he thinks it's like episode 6 or 7 that's going to happen. So we've got a long way to go. Oh my God, this fucking episode though. So Okay, Sauron did a bunch of shit. Whatever. Okay, let's talk about the fucking Harfoots.
Oh my God, they're evil.
Oh, did you enjoy that scene? That was basically the Harfoot's version of the Naked Gun. Leslie Nielsen setting Ricardo Montalban's apartment on fire.
Like just walking back and forth shit. Yeah, that was
God.
He was
great.
just like stumbling
Bumping
around.
into everything.
He
Yeah.
lights the map on fire, and then he stumbles around and trips all over everything, destroying stuff around him. Like that's Leslie Nielsen did that 30 years ago.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
Silly
That did
Gandalf.
happen. I was like, is this guy retarded? Like, why? Actually, he is. Because he was.
It didn't even have a funny him out on the ledge of a building, like groping the naked statuesque models in front of like the other Harfoots.
Yeah. What gets me is like, how long are we gonna have to go with this? He's learning. Like, I could get he was confused when he first fell.
The entire time, dude.
But
this is gonna be the entire series.
Oh my! I can't.
It's like you're trying to
really feels
learn
like they're trying
Japanese right now. It's gonna take a while.
First of all, what is his hat? Second of all, does it really feel like they're trying to write like 6 different shows or 3 different shows and just couldn't decide on which one they wanted to do? So this did all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
It's
what happened.
stupid. So stupid. This whole Harfoot thing just kills me. Like, she's supposed to be, the Bilbo. The one that wants adventure. She's probably his great grandmother or something like that. It doesn't make sense. Like this.
I think
They're-
he is actually.
Well, again, probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
Because I think Frodo, they said like, oh, he's a Baggins, but he's mostly a Harfoot or something like that.
Right.
In the lore.
Something like
he-
that. Yeah.
But what kills me is if you're an isolated group, how do you have so much diversity? If you are an isolated group, how is everybody different colors? I'm so confused.
Dude,
At
I
what
like
point did they become isolated?
this fucking bird's nest on this guy's fucking head is like, I'm just like, what is
Exactly.
this?
How can this guy face anyone who doesn't like the show and then call them racist for not liking it when he's wearing this thing on his head?
Yeah, like what?
Not only that, he preaches eugenics.
weird.
Who's
He's
gonna like this?
If you fall behind, we will carry you in our hearts, but not physically, even though we have wagons.
Yeah. I was like, what? Jane, what were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say they should all be inbred actually, because the population
Yes.
is tiny. It's
Like-
like 2 families, maybe.
Absolutely, Jane. That's what I'm trying to get at.
They
Like,
are
they should have
inbred,
like,
Jane.
yeah,
Unless
they're-
they started out mixed, I guess.
they should be sterile by now. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why they're so small.
oh my god, it makes sense why they have so many fucking defects. That's what's
Yeah,
going on with the
like
feet,
weak
and
ankles.
the hairs, and
Weak
but
ankles.
seriously though, like you're right, script doctor, because they talk about like, okay, let's go. They're like, let's go have a meeting and name all the people we left behind.
No, that wasn't even a meeting. That was their festival.
yeah,
like-
they're weird.
They're celebrating it.
You remember when?
Celebrating
And they're
it, yeah.
laughing at some parts. How idiotic and stupid was he? He's dead.
Remember how our numbers got smaller?
Like this dude we lost to, like, I don't know, some flood, and this dude we lost to someone like that. And anyone,
Yeah.
like at this point, I don't think they tried to help any of those people.
No.
Like
They
I
didn't.
think
They
they
kept
just left
going.
them.
No, that's the whole point. They don't. You get put in the back of the caravan and you just disappear. And that's it.
And they make jokes about you after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like the one dude,
That's
like
how
the one dude, it's himself, like the dad who's like got a broken ankle or whatever.
Mhm.
It's like they have a fucking cart and
Yeah.
they're like, leave him. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to leave him behind now. And it's like,
Oh,
You
didn't the
can
dad
see-
leave his wife behind, which is like Nomi's mother or whatever?
Right. We got a little something about that in this episode, right?
we did. I still think that
Well,
black
he-
woman is her. Is
No.
the
Oh,
mom.
no, she's
'Cause
the
he said-
stepmom.
Yeah, he said when we lost, whatever her name was, and it made, I guess she fell behind. And he was like, later.
Oh, so this chick is not the mom.
Right.
No.
She's, definitely a stepmom. That's why,
Oh, okay. So the other mom was left behind. Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
Or
Alright.
left behind. He was like, check out this broad. And
Yeah,
he's
Yeah,
like,
but
Probably
the
left her
Kirk
behind.
Cameron movie type of way. Just,
There's
Yeah.
a point where he's like he's just talking about it and everything, and then he just turns to her and starts having this like quasi romantic. You were so beautiful that day and everything. Now that's fine, I guess. It's a little unnecessary, but it's kind of fine, I suppose. But the thing is, you'll never have it the other way around, as far as I've seen. Like, you'll never have the woman going, "You were so awesome and great and smart as a husband, and I was so nervous, and I it's like I could never catch you." I've rarely ever seen the other way around. Has anyone seen it the other way around? Where it's like it's not the guy going off how beautiful she is. It's more like it's always how
it's all Jerry Maguire, right? It's Jerry Maguire. Just
like how much he loves her and how she was so perfect and beautiful and awesome and great and fantastic.
Yeah, and she was just like, "Thanks," and pats him on the head and walks away. Yeah,
I mean, this is the thing that they could have just helped.
Totally.
Who's the lady with bitch right here? Like she not doing shit. She's just like watching them. Like
she might have her own cart, but the other one's carrying a freaking reed. You can't help out.
No, nobody can help out.
That's what they use for direction.
The wind.
Nobody fucking helps. I just
They're know what? So evil.
They are. As I was scrolling through this episode, I just I saw the scene that I was like, man, I fucking completely forgot this scene. Like I guess I was half asleep when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because she does have a conversation with Halbrand again, and he's in jail.
Yeah.
And I've completely forgotten what they said to each other. Completely.
Something again, maybe about the symbol. I don't know. Good call.
It was right here.
Oh, I didn't remember that part.
This is right after.
Yeah, chat, help us.
This I've completely forgotten what this conversation was.
Literally watched this show 2 days ago. And
I did too.
The majority of it, other than the things that truly I was like, this is so wrong, has just leaked out of my head. Just bloop.
I just paused it on this one scene, and he's saying, "If there's one of us that doesn't belong here, Elf, it's you." This is the dialogue that we're talking about. Wow, this dialogue.
And she comes back.
She gives him this thing. I don't remember why. She gives him that fucking parcel.
The dialogue always feels like baby's first epic. It's like they're trying to sound epic, but they don't know how to sound epic.
The chat needs to help me out right now because I've forgotten why everything happened.
I love how you put that, Lit, because it's one of those things where it's going to be when we get the reveal of who he is, it's going to be oh, we all already knew.
She gives him this thing.
Yeah, that it tells him about his family because he's royalty. She remembered his crest on the boat. She goes, "I've seen that before." This one tells him he is actually the ancient line of kings of the rulers of the South. And he can be the one that unites them.
He said, "That's funny. I found this on a dead man."
And maybe Saruman, not Sauron.
Oh,
Sauron,
yeah, I remember
that
part.
Yeah.
The DM give me plot loot that is found on a dead man. The
Yeah.
DM, really needs us to know so we continue on with this cool campaign.
Well, but no, because it's going to be used down the line when she finds out he's not who he says he is, and he's going to be like, "I told you I found it on dead man." Oh, he doesn't talk like that, does he?
Oh, she found his sigil in the library that identified him as a king.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
he's the king, the Southern kings.
Right.
In some reason, in Tolkien's land, they're not black or brown, they're white.
Amanda's
rednecks.
What makes you think we want to remember?
Yeah.
I mean, you're right.
Valid.
See, that's the thing I'm confused about. It seemed like they were trying to include people from the South,
and they made them rednecks,
which would be that's where you would have your diversity, but they're all still white.
Yeah, and they're all still white rednecks that talk crap on a black elf.
Right, it's the American South.
I said that in a video. It is the American South. That's what they're total hick redneck Appalachia type style, rednecks. No offense to Appalachia, but that's what they're going for. Depression.
That is, dude. No, the Harfoots are them.
Oh my God, you're right.
No, dude. Go back to her village where she's the only one with a little bit bronze skin. Everybody else is token white, hates people of color. I was shocked there wasn't a hooded guy walking in white robe, kill that knife here.
Oh, some local elder.
God, I totally felt like that too, Scott.
Yeah.
They literally enslaved the elf.
Then they
Actually, I think there was one character in a white hood.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, I think when they're screaming for Adar.
Did you just say when they're screaming for Adolf?
No,
Adar.
Adar.
Close enough.
Adar.
Adar,
Pretty
the
fucking
Grand
close.
Wizard.
He is.
Adar.
Yeah,
not
like,
Adar.
it's
Different.
like just before the end credits, right after Don Numenor gets the knife to his throat.
In this episode?
Yep.
That was Trump.
Yeah, the Adar is Trump. Yeah, it's gonna bring it like a. What, is that,
There's
a red
like,
helmet or
I
something?
think it's like the orcs, and they're all wearing like skulls on their head, but one of them was wearing like a white hood.
Oh yeah, they were wearing like white hoods. I
No.
remember. Okay, yeah, I
Right.
remember.
Yeah, but
You
he's
gotta
not.
be
No,
kidding me.
he's not going to look like an orc. He's going to
Yeah,
look like a
because
man.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, why is that guy fucking like wearing a white cloak? Like it looks like a fucking KKK
Yeah.
guy. Like
But
it
if
did.
you, it probably is. But if you watch it again, he will be a man. He doesn't look like, or like very close to a man, because I know who the actor is. It's the actor who played Uncle Benjen,
But if
or
it's a-
Uncle. Yeah,
There he
from-
is. It's because he's trying to hide from the fucking sun. This is how retarded this show is. So he's got this weird like.
Yeah, but that's
Oh,
not the
no,
guy.
A little bit later.
It's
is when he
later.
gets more of, like a pointed hood.
Yeah, go back. Go to like
Go
almost
ahead,
the very
like,
end.
20 seconds.
Yeah, when they're dragging his ass through the
The
hooded.
tunnel.
I mean the tunnel.
tunnel?
Not the hooded tunnel. I was about to say, but
Oh my
'Cause
god!
the
I see
tunnel's
a
right
bunch
there.
of like
It's on
weird.
the right side of the frame.
Hold on. This one.
There it
Oh
is.
my- no, that's not. Oh my God, you're right. Holy
I
cow!
got one here too.
It's a
I thought you were-
conduit.
My God.
Someone clip that, meme it. Holy crap! I did not. They're the KKK. I bet you them.
It works.
Actually.
Oh,
Insane.
this is
Well,
the show.
I like
So
John.
It works with a K.
John
Free
Thomas. John Thomas says if you say knife ears really fast, it could kind of sound like another bad word.
Wow.
Oof.
Say it. I mean, in your head.
Ears?
No, like
No.
a normal, real
Knife
fast.
ears.
Say them together, almost as one word.
Wait, Jane can say it. She's got the pass.
I'm trying to.
I don't want to hear it.
Knife
You would have to throw like a
Knife ears?
little. Okay, you might have to.
Knife
Scott.
It's very close.
It's-
This is insane, y'all. They did this. This is
I can't
not a coincidence.
They're not hiding it. No, they're not hiding it.
And
This is
and the guy
not-
who rules them, I swear, is a white dude.
I
If you
bet
go a
it
little
is.
bit farther, they'll show him like kind of blurred, and the actor is Benjamin Stark, so
Well,
definitely
wasn't
took.
that the Uncle
Oh,
Benjamin.
yeah. Because I was like, what the fuck is going on with this dude? Like, who is this? Like,
Rings of the South.
oh my god, yeah, because this is the guy that is like their leader. And I was like,
Zombie box.
why is the leader
Oh,
like
that's
human
that's like an
looking?
elf.
Yeah, that's Benjamin. So
I think they're really trying to insinuate this is Sauron because Sauron kind of had.
they
that
want to
kinda
confuse
guy.
us.
Yeah, they want. Yeah, see, everyone that looks humanish, it's like, oh, this guy could be Sauron. It's like,
Oh my God, this is
whatever.
someone. I hope clipped that little scene where we just the hood. I didn't know that.
I didn't catch that.
That was what?
That stuck out to me. Like, I'm like, is that what I think it is?
Well, because I kept looking for that, but I didn't see it
I
until
mean,
you
it's
just.
just a little rounded off instead of pointed, but it's that's a
It's one of the
very-
classic ones. We're going back
Exactly, that's
early.
classic,
Yeah.
yeah.
those are the early ones,
Those
man.
are
They
the
went.
homemade ones.
Yeah, they really did.
Those are the ones made from pillowcases. Yeah.
Like literally,
Oh
if you
my
look,
God.
if you look at the pictures drawn in newspapers from that time showing KK, that would be the hood.
It's literally that. Hold on, I'm
Holy
going
crap.
back to it because that was really fun.
Oh my God.
This show is
I'm
terrible.
So
And they're in the Southlands in that part of the world, right?
Yeah.
Ugh,
So yeah, they're literally in the South with KK.
that's
K orcs.
right.
South, KKK, slavery. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just...
Token rednecks. I mean,
Oh
The elves are
my-
black people.
but again, this
And
is
they're
the
like enslaved. Oh,
right. But
fuck.
this is the area where you were supposed to have people of color, diversity in the southern part of this continent. Like, I just don't understand. No one no one knows any of the material. No one does. These people that write this, I know more than them, and I don't know much. Like,
This is true. The writers investigated more the KKK than Tolkien's works. It's true.
Right.
They were like, "Who's the fucking leader of?" Oh, never mind.
yeah, yeah.
Real quick, let me get these two super chats. The Zombie Blocks Reviews for 2 says, "Hate this show so much. I'm rooting for Sauron to win."
Amen.
Yeah,
Me
weird.
too.
think
I was
they
rooting for
got confused
Sauron
because
during the prequel or whatever.
Yeah.
the narration. I was like, yes, pile up those helmets, Sauron. Get all those elves.
Well, he's a fucking pimp, man. He's making those orcs
Yeah,
go at it.
Fornicate under the command of the king. Like, get out there.
Yeah, get
Go
out
forth and
there.
multiply.
Do your thing, Sauron. I think we're all rooting for Sauron at this point. You're Baramy. Thank you so much for the 2. That says the hills have Harfoots. Dude, that is fucking terrifying.
That's good.
They're all inbred too. Is that
I
an
like
inbred
that.
joke? Because that's that was
You just
the
need
Hills
that
Have
one
Eyes.
actor with the bug eyes who's like in The Hills Have Eyes and like Weird Science and all those other horror movies.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And that's it. That was the episode. I mean, I fell
Wow.
asleep like 3 times, but that was the episode. So, the fucking elves try and mount a somewhat of a fucking what's it called?
They
Escape.
have chain foo
They
that doesn't
fail.
work for them.
No, they
I
have
kinda-
some
I
I
sort
kind of
of
want to point out that Galadriel had her most like woman moment here, where with Elrond, he's like a nobody. Like, oh, Elrond, who cares? Just give me what I need, Elrond. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, simp. But when she finds out the guy is a king, it's like, oh, you're the best ever. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness,
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
be with you. I want to help you out. We can both. What'd she say? Redeem both our bloodlines. And
Yeah.
the moment she figures out this guy is a king, she starts liking him a lot more.
Not even just that though,
Oh, what
but
a
he's
bitch.
also a simp. He loves elves. Don't forget
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
He
That's also
loves
there.
elves, man.
Also, he met the prerequisite of praising her nonstop, which is
Right.
a prerequisite for lovers in a girl power fantasy.
Wait, are you
Right.
talking about Elendil or are you
Yes.
talking about the other dude?
I
Oh,
thought-
I
no,
thought you were talking
what's
about.
his name? What's his
Yeah,
name?
Elendil.
What's
The-
the other guy?
Like,
The
captain.
Halbrand's
I'm talking about
girl
Halbrand.
in the wet red.
Oh,
She's
Halbrand.
pregnant.
Harbrand.
Well, Halbrand.
Oh, you're right,
he's
man.
the king, and he's like at first she's like, "Oh man, you suck, Halbrand. Like, get away from me." And then
Yeah,
after a while,
you're
she's like,
fucking dirty.
She
Yeah,
gives some
But wait.
like little hints here and there. Like she kind of starts to like him a little bit.
she
But
did.
then she finds out he's a king. And like, oh man, we can team up. I like you now, Halbrand. We
Holy
can go,
crap, you're right.
We can go
Royalty
redeem our
gives
bloodlines.
street cred.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Hold on. I'm trying to pull this scene up. She's all into him, man. I'm telling you, they're totally gonna bang. Because look at this scene. Like she's like, this is like the final scene. And she's
Look-
like, she gives
Oh,
him
you're
a smile.
king.
She's
Look at
all
those
like,
eyes she's giving him when she
Yeah.
finds out he's
Yeah.
a king. Look, oh man, this is all about
This
the
is
change.
right after she went for that horse ride. She's ready.
Yeah, she's right. But
So
you know,
she's been calmed down a little bit.
I'm ready to mount. a
do you
man,
really
let's
think
go.
they will have Galadriel sleep with Sauron?
Oh,
Like,
that would be so
Yes.
bad.
Like-
Yes, I
Would
do.
be pretty bad.
if they do, I hope Amazon Prime fails. I truly like burn it all to the ground. Not literally. You are taking something just so wrong. Like you're perverting this man's work and then calling us racists for pointing it out. Like
I
man,
absolutely think they're gonna
I-
do it.
I feel like they hate her character, and that would be one way of really literally sticking it to Tolkien.
Hmm.
But the other thing too is that even those who are all in the whole girl power modern feminist camp, some of them would have to, I would hope, have to see that that would be a complete travesty
mhm.
for them to do that to this character.
Hmm.
But
I don't
I
think
wouldn't
they're
put
gonna
it
say
past
anything.
them.
Yeah, I wouldn't put. I think they're definitely gonna make them bang. I mean, look at this. She's all like,
Yeah, she got bedroom eyes. She
yeah,
got
she's
she got
those
horse
eyes.
eyes. She got horse
They're
eyes.
She's got a horse
They're
eyes.
clearly
Yep.
writing this series for women, like with a women audience in mind. And the thing is, women do like social issues, or it's not social conflict more than physical conflict. Which is why there's barely any fighting in the show. But there's tons of drama between family and all kinds of crap, all the kinds of like friends and stuff. So the most dramatic thing they could do in terms of social conflict is to make Galadriel sleep with the most hated enemy. So
Right.
will they make her sleep with
Yep.
Sauron? I don't know, but there's a good chance that they will.
Well, they're not gonna make her sleep with an orc, so they're gonna. It's gonna be Sauron.
No, that'll
Not
be
until
knife
after he
ears.
But they
turns.
would.
That'll be
they would
knife
have to
ears.
sleep with absolute evil. I mean, that's just low, even for them.
John
Zombie
Thomas.
Box
I
Reviews-
could. I'm sorry.
Zombie Box Reviews for 2 says this show is a zippity doo dah.
Yeah, very
God,
racist.
it really. What were you gonna say, Scott?
No, I'm sorry. John Thomas and the rest of the chat are killing it. He has one that said something like, "At Jane Theory, I can change him." You know, like
Change him.
yeah, like all of a sudden the whole Third Age is going to change because
Yeah.
Sauron's like, you know what? That was good sex. I love you.
Yeah,
I'm
who
not-
else is he gonna sleep with, or is she gonna sleep with? Nobody.
true.
Like unless she sleeps with Elendil, like she's gonna sleep with
Valinor.
Sauron.
Yeah.
Like there's no way because they basically set it up so she either bangs this dude or Elendil.
Now, Elendil has that daughter in the red. Is that daughter pregnant? Because it looks like she's pregnant in all the shots.
No,
No.
no,
I
I don't
she's.
think so.
I don't
God
think so.
damn, the script doctor just fucking calling her fat like that.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think it's an unflattering dress because, like, she has, like, it looks like the way it hangs on her, everything's kind of sagging, unless if she's in, like, the third trimester.
Oh
Wow.
damn!
Well, they
I
have
agree,
to clear
though.
that male gaze, so
That's true.
'Cause
I
she's got a
agree. I thought it
pretty
was a
face,
very
so-
unflattering dress, and she's really pretty.
yeah.
She is very pretty.
I'm
That
trying
girl.
to
They
find a
ugly her
good
up
shot
some
of
kind
the
of way.
dress.
And so ugly clothes.
Dude, the Numenorians have a really shitty fashion style. Like, I'm like, damn. Like, for advanced society, you guys look like shit. All of you. The men, women, everybody.
It's all from Walmart. It's just random cloth.
I know, it really is. Because, I mean, look at this fucking dress that she's wearing. But you can't really tell in this, I guess. But, I mean, like, what
It's
is
the cheapest
this?
top.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? What is-
Yeah,
like, there's so much stuff that, like, you can just nitpick with this series. Like,
we
what?
were once kings and queens, and now we are sheep herders. Like what? Really? What are they wearing?
And we hang out on boats.
Yeah, that's it. Because
Like,
the sea.
well, I mean, they're more like the fucking sea people. Like, I was laughing because, you know how when this whole thing started, Bezos was like, I want my Game of Thrones, and then like the sea people have like this weird saying now, like, the sea is always right. And I
Yeah.
was like, is this like supposed to be like the fucking sea people from Game of Thrones and how they
Yeah.
say like what is dead will never die or whatever?
Oh
Like,
yeah, okay. The faceless men. Yeah.
There's the dress.
Oh no, you're talking about what it was. Jane, don't hold me to that. I messed up.
You heard it, Jane. I mean, I heard
can't
it.
believe I just said the
I heard
faceless
it.
men. I'm Ironborn. Sorry.
I was
Yeah.
trying to see if we could find this dress. Because somebody said TJ Maxx, and I think
I'll totally wear it.
You can find nicer shit in Target than
Maybe it's
whatever
like the
fuck is
fancy
going
version of
on.
mom jeans.
But like they're always they're going for like everyone wears almost gypsy-esque type stuff. Like there's not a big difference. Like this is a completely different, it's an island. They should have their own style, but yet they look like Harfoots
Oh my god.
without
Yeah,
the bird
they-
shit.
Yeah, they bathe.
They
Yeah.
bathe. Yeah, the
Bathe.
only difference is that
which
they come.
I'm glad, considering they're surrounded by water.
Yeah.
At least they do that.
So yeah, we got introduced to a bunch of people. Elendil, that fucking kid that's gonna be Aragorn's dad,
Non-existent daughter.
non-existent daughter. Other than that, it was a bunch of boar fest. The elves tried to get away, but they couldn't, and then that guy got killed by an arrow. Several arrows actually, and that was it. That was the episode, and then that guy fucking fell back into the hole. And then they're like, like he's still trapped there, and no one's going to save him. Or
Okay,
are they?
I gotta say one thing about this too. Elves have quick reflexes and great eyes. The minute he got up there, he didn't see freaking guys on the tree line or wherever with arrow like bows.
Dude, fucking Legolas could have fucking caught that arrow.
Yeah, exactly. Like these are the worst elves ever.
Come on.
Well, they were captured, so yeah, they are.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They were.
Oh yeah,
captured,
good
right?
point.
They suck. And that's it. So with that said, we're gonna call it a night now because I have to go. But you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Extra thank you to everybody in the chat, especially if you super chatted. Thank you very much. And also, if you became a member, thank you so much. And if you just hung out and pressed the like and all that stuff, thank you. So let's go around the horn and say where everybody is going to be going to. Scott,
Yes.
let everyone know who you are and where they can find you.
Yeah, Scott, Sporky News Podcast. You can find me on YouTube. I really appreciate this chat. You guys are amazing. You can check out tomorrow night. We'll do an episode review of House of the Dragon. Jane will be there and a couple others. And we have a couple. Don't hold me to the name of my show, but it's The Dump. I was thinking news, but now it's all about shit. But we do that every Wednesday and Saturday night, and we have a good time. So come on by.
Yay. Thank you for being here tonight, Scott.
Thank you as always. Thank you
Script
as always.
Doctor, tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at ScriptDoctorPhD, and I do a YouTube channel at youtube.com/ScriptDoctor, where I do reviews and analysis of film and television shows.
Yay, thank you very much. And then Jane, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us.
No problem.
Tell everyone who you are, where they can find you, and what you got coming up next.
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube. I post movie and television reviews and occasionally some pop culture commentary. You can also find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, so forth and so on, at Jane Theory.
Woo.
And next Sunday evening, after House of the Dragon, I'll be on the Erotics channel.
Yay!
Yeah!
Yay. You're gonna hang
That's
out with
awesome.
Molly and Gary and talk about
Yeah.
House of Dragons. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be on there. It's gonna be fun.
Yay.
Do it, girl.
So next week after this stream, Jane is going over there.
Yep.
Right,
Yep.
Jane? Yay. Yay. Okay.
Yeah, after this stream.
Yeah, after this stream. This is where the fun begins. Okay, and then LD, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
Tell
lot of fun.
everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, we can find me on Literature
going
Devil on YouTube. Also, I do have my first comic on Kindle. Available on Kindle. Yeah, it's Dr. After Milk Child. 120 pages altogether. So you want to check it out? Yeah, it's available now. The entire thing already all done.
Nice.
Dr. Alpha 2 is coming out soon. It's going to be launched soon. So you can get caught up.
Excellent. Yes, do it. Wait,
Do
do you
it.
have a link for that? Because I don't
think
have
so.
that in the description.
Let me see.
I should probably put that in the description. And yeah, as for me, I'm gonna be hanging out with my mom for
That's
a bit.
awesome.
This week it's gonna be really fun, and but I will be back. Okay, here is the link to Literature Devils. What is this? A comic book or
Yeah,
book?
comic.
Comic. There you go. Here we go. LD's comic. Go buy it. Get yourself
Buy it.
some. And I will put this in the description as well so people can find it easily. But yeah, for me, I will be on The Real BBC on Tuesday on Az's channel, so you can catch me on there. Other than that, for the 100th show for Infinite Hope on Fridays, here 2:45 Eastern, which Jane is invited to. So hopefully you'll see us here Friday, 2:45 Eastern. And until then, everybody, have a good day.
Later,
Have
all.
a good weekend. All that good stuff. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Let me find an outro of some sort.
Professional.
I'm
Start with about shipping, because I know a lot of fans were actually pretty invested in the idea of Natasha with actually either or both of you guys, and now obviously she's with Bruce. What do you guys make of that?
She's a slut.